session with offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave. Go ahead, as always, if you could let me know in the chat, we'll get started. We'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Ferrato from SI.
Morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, can you just sort of give us an overview of sort of how you feel? What is it, 3 days out from a game? You had a really unusual off season and a sort of an abbreviated so-called training camp in the midst of school. Do you like where you're at? Have your guys figured out and embraced the offense? And where do things stand, you think?
I think we're doing the very best we can. We're putting our best foot forward and on limited preparation, being a new staff. 3 of us are new system entirely. I think the guys have put in a great effort. So we're going to put our best foot forward and let the chips fall where they may.
Is there anything in particular that's got you excited? And is there a particular area where you think you're a little ways away from being at optimal operating efficiency?
Oh, I think the guys' efforts, everyone has really asserted themselves. And so that gets me excited each and every day. Just to come to work with our staff and then being able to work with our players, limited hours per day. They've got to be students as well, first and foremost. So they've just done a super job of, adhering to the protocols that are in place for the health and safety of everyone involved. So really impressed with what the players are doing. So yeah, that gets me fired up each and every day.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Trace Travers from Rivals.
Yeah, good to see you this morning, Coach. To start, what the main thing we've heard about the Washington defense is that they're a bit like the one you go against in practice every day. What have you seen from what Washington's done over the last year? And they've had the same, basically, continuity on defense, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're very impressive. What they do schematically is really difficult, to account for. And then their players are really impressive. They've got some young guys that are going to step in for some guys maybe that have opted out, but they look to me on film to be even better than the guys that are no longer there. So we'll have our hands full, that's for sure.
Do you expect them? With the way they list their depth chart, it's 2-4-5 nickel. Do you expect them to play more nickel against you guys, or do you feel like they'll match personnel?
Well, we're going to be prepared for whether they go nickel or go dime or base. At times they bring in 6 down linemen and play like that, not just on the goal line, but out in the field. So we're preparing our guys for some different personnel groups and, trying to make our best estimate as to what we've seen on film from the 2019 season.
Yeah, I talked to Nico the other day, and he said something that he likes what you're doing is you kind of systematically break down things to add in day by day. What does kind of your process look like when you're breaking down another team that maybe you haven't seen before since you've been at the pro level for all this time?
Well, it's probably a pregame or a weekly routine that we work on versus all opponents. And I've learned that probably from the various coaches that I've worked under for a number of years. Just tried to really take good notes when I've worked with good players and good coaches. And our routine is one that's really tailored and engineered to Cal. It's the Cal system. It's our Cal preparation. And so this is the first week that we've been able to put it in place. So there'll be a little trial and error. We'll make quarter turn adjustments when we want it to be a little bit better than what we had envisioned. But so far, the players have done a super job embracing the presentations we make on first and second down and third down, and then getting into situational football with short yardage and goal line and 4-minute and 2-minute and backed up. So we want to give it to those guys in components. So all of us, coaches and players, can digest the material and feel like we know it before game day.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. I'm assuming someone will also have a question, but if not, we might let Coach off easy today. If you do have a question, please put it in the chat, and we'll the bad guy is Jake Curtis from SI. Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, Bill, Chase mentioned last week that most of the offense has been installed, maybe 85%. Is that a pretty good estimate of how much has been installed at this point?
Yes, I'd say that's pretty darn close and pretty accurate. And I think we've talked a little bit before about, we want to make sure that we keep the volume to a manageable level. With lack of preparation that we would normally have in an off season, even going into the first season of a system, it takes time for the guys to really know it like the back of their hand. So we're going to keep it real tight in terms of a game plan. So we know what to do and we can do it, to our utmost ability.
Thanks.
Okay, does anybody else have a question for Coach? So I'll give you about another 3 seconds, otherwise we'll let him go.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.